Hi, everybody. I pushed the button early tonight because I was afraid I'd have to go in and sign on again, but apparently I didn't have to do that this time. It's so confusing. I'm in a whole different position. Yeah, I'm a little early. My computer is barely sitting on this desk. Jane, hi, you're the first one here. I'm going to have trouble seeing the chat unless I move much closer. I had this shelf out so I could put something on it, but I think I'm going to have to move closer to this laptop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, finally, my little laser printer came, and I'm going to open the box. I'm not going to try to install it online. This isn't a how-to video. This is just a box opening to see what's in there and to show you what kind I'm going to try. Yeah, we'll wait till some more people come. This is such a trying time for me. I don't know how this can get me so upset about losing a computer. It's just a thing. Yeah. Really, it's got me really sort of depressed, which is really kind of dumb. But on today's little quick video I did, if you saw it, I forgot to say I was trying to talk about Posher VA. And the trouble I'm having with Posher VA that's supposed to share my Poshmark items like 3 times a day. Yeah, 3 times a day, except when it was on my big computer was on all the time. My laptop, I have to keep it on. That means I have to keep it open, the lid open all the time, or it won't share. It has to be on in order to share. So a couple of the days, I didn't know that. And I don't think there was any sharing. Maybe that's why the last 2 days I haven't had any Poshmark sales. I finally got an eBay sale a little while ago. But nothing's hooked up to print yet. And I don't want to try a real label as my first printing job. Because if you tell it to print and you can't print it, it charges you. And it's a whole big pain in the neck to get the money back from the post office. So I'm going to hi Diane, I'm going to make sure I have a printer that's working, that's hooked up to my laptop before I go printing things. So probably tomorrow, after Samantha leaves, I will have to go to the post office with this package again, because I can have them print the label from the QR code. I did learn how to do that. That's what I've been doing. I just haven't had a sale up until a little while ago. This is an eBay sale. I sold this this men's shirt by Woolrich. It's just a cotton shirt. Woolrich is a good brand. However, it has to be something that's wool, like a wool sweater or something wool. I found that they make other things like this cotton men's shirt, but it doesn't, the name really doesn't do much for it. Because it's not wool. But this is a size 2XL. This was on for 19 something in my store, and somebody offered me $15.15. The reason people offer strange things, they like to come out with an even number. So this comes out with shipping and things. It comes out to $23 for this person. So yeah. So I will package that up and take it to the post office tomorrow. It's okay with me that I'm not selling anything until I get a printer hooked up. Yeah. So, okay. Another thing, I will have a actual big box opening of inventory. Bumblebee's box is coming on May 5th. It's coming UPS. I don't know if it's coming in the morning, afternoon, evening. I don't know. So sometime, maybe the 5th or the 6th, I will have a big box opening. She says it's so big I may have to open it on the porch, on the deck maybe. Because it may be too heavy for me to get in the door. So who knows what is in this box and how many things. It's exciting. I haven't had a box in a long time. So that's something I'm looking forward to. So if I get my printer hooked up and then get inventory, I'll be off and running again with some actual new items. But yes, I got this printer, and it is called a Jaden's. It's just, you can go on Amazon, and they have a lot of these type printers. They all look the same. And I watched the College Picker. He does a hookup with this printer on his channel, if you want to look at. So does Shed. Darn it, I forgot his name now. There's a couple people that do YouTube videos about hooking this printer up. So I watched a few of them, and I'll watch them again before I try it. And the thing that both of their boxes they got for free because they the company wanted them to open them. They're bigger, they're bigger YouTube sellers. And it had an extra thing in their box, which I don't have in this box because I already checked. But it's all right. It's, we can make do. It has nothing to do with printing. The printing it has to do with holding the labels. But I have lots of labels of this will the labels feed in through the back and out through the front. It doesn't hold the labels inside the little printer. So I have lots of these on the spool that the Dymo label maker takes. The thing I don't like about these is they're curled up like forever. And I use these, in my inventory, to put in my file box. And it's hard to get them straightened out. So this also takes the fan fold labels, and I assume there's some in here. I'm going to open the box here and show you what's in it. The first thing is this package. And let's see what's in here. There's a quick start printer's guide. This is a fold out. It's the whole quick start one. So we'll see what that's about. And then there's a little book, user manual. It's probably in, 10 different languages, probably 2 pages for English. We'll see here. It also shows in detail how to set the printer up. Then I have another guide. It says shipping label printer print photo guide, step by step for printing photos. Oh my. Well, I'm not going to do that. Then we have the fan fold labels. And I don't have my little slicer here. This is just, they lay and then they like the Rollo printer uses, they fan fold out, but they're flat all the time, so they never get curled up. So I think I'll go with these. I will try to use up my rolled ones because you can use either kind. I'll try to use the rolled ones. Here it has a picture of how it. This is part of the box. See how they feed into the back of the printer and come out printed on the front. And that's the fan fold in the back. You can just set them on the desk, actually. So let's see what's in here. This is the printer, this black and blue thing. And then there's a box, I assume, is all the cords. Because this is a Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, not Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. This is why I don't do things on. I'm so clumsy. See, this is the printer. We'll get that in a minute. And there's a little package here. Oh, this is an adapter. It goes from UPC. Is it UPC? To from the old type of connection to the new type of connection, which this has, the C one. And I need one of these, but I already bought a couple, so I have plenty of those. UPC, is that what it is? I'm sure this is probably the cord. Yeah, this is the cords. So to hook up to the laptop itself, I need the power cord and the adapter cord, which is this. So I need both of these cords to hook up to the my laptop. So this has this is the same actual that my Dymo uses. I think it's probably the same exact cord that the Dymo has. So it takes a cord to hook up and print off of the laptop, but you can print off of your phone by Bluetooth. So you pull up your sale on your phone, like on eBay or Poshmark. You'd pull it up and you'd print your label right from your phone. by the Bluetooth, which everybody really likes. So I'm going to try it both ways if I can get this thing connected. So we'll see. If I can't get it connected, I'm going to send it back. Or no, I'm going to call this little computer company. It's in Medina. It's right in town. I already talked to them. This is the two guys that own this. Is what I'm not having a good word day today, as you can tell. Jolene went. She was walking my dog, and I had mentioned to her about all the trouble I'm having with my computers, and she knew about this little computer store company that fixes computers. So she went in there and talked to the guys for quite a long time, I guess. And they don't sell apples. They work on all kinds, though. So she said that they're not crazy about Apple products because nothing you connect works well with apples. You know, there's always been a saying, Apple doesn't play well with others. That's true. But we'll see. You're supposed to be able to hook this up to a MacBook Pro. So I called them today and I talked to Tim. He remembers Jolene because she was just in there yesterday. And he talked to me for quite a long time on the phone. And they make house calls. That's what I like. So he said if I can't get the little printer hooked up, they do house calls. They would come hook it up for me. Or they could try to hook up my Dymo back, the old one that I had on the computer. But I don't think it'll hook up on this system I have running on my laptop, but I'm not sure. He would know. But he's the one that he told me too that sign that my laptop gave me, that's black screen with a white circle and a slash through it. That is Apple's sign for your hard drive is kaput. So he says they could try to put a new hard drive in, but it won't run on this computer on my desktop because my desktop's too old. My desktop is probably, I don't know, between 13 and 15 years old. So they've changed all kinds of things, and he says a new hard drive wouldn't work in it. So yeah, he'll probably try to talk me into getting another type of computer, but I've never had anything but Apple products. I did go on and look at the Apple desktops. They're not quite as expensive as I thought. Even for the 27-inch screen. No, I think that's what this one is. They come in 24, 23 or 24 and 27. And I think this is the big 27 for sure. So that's a choice I have. The other choice is to use my laptop and get a monitor. And you can get them fairly inexpensively. I think you can use most any monitor brand with this Mac Pro. So that's another choice I have. But it's good to know that I have somebody that makes house calls that would come and help me set things up. Yeah. So let me show you what this little computer, if I remember what I saw. All the connections go on the back of the computer here. And this little sheet hanging out is a sample sheet. There's a little, I can't hold this little thing here that opens up the printer. Now the printer head is on the top here. This is just a piece of paper in there. So you would feed your paper through the back into the front, and you use these little, you're looking at the back. Okay. You use these little guides, and when you move one, they both move. And you guide it, so your paper's in there straight. I do know that because I've watched so many. This is the front. And then you close it over the paper. And you'd push, if this was connected, you'd push the button. I forget what it is, like a couple times, and feed the paper through. And it automatically knows where the edge of the paper is, and it sets it where it's supposed to be. So we'll see if I get this connected, then I'll show you how it works. But I'm not going to do that online because I fumble around so much with my hands. Hi, Bryland. Well, this is the same. I'm just tilted differently. I can actually, you want to see because I have my laptop. Do you want to see my broken? Here's my broken, dead computer. And there's the first pointer I ever had. It was my husband's hunting dog, Rocky. Yeah. So I had it just pointing differently so I could have this box, make room for the box. So I will have, I will try to do this myself. If I can't do it myself and get it to work right, I will call these guys, Tim. I'll call Tim and Tom. They have this little computer place in town, and they'll come here and help me for $140 an hour. Hey, it's better than me just driving myself into the insane asylum. So he could also maybe just hook up, if we can't get that to work right. I have my Dymo that I'm used to, and he could tell me with this if it will actually work on this laptop or not. Now, I did read someplace that it won't work on here because of the system that I have, and I haven't upgraded my system. That's another thing that they could do for me. They could upgrade this system. I'll tell you one thing I did right. You know what this is, probably. This is an external hard drive. You know, a long time ago, these things used to be huge. They used to be like a big box. They're down to these little, I think they're even smaller now. But this was connected to my big desktop. So I didn't lose anything. It's all in here. Plus, my computers were all connected. It would have been, everything's in my laptop that was in my desktop. So I told the guys at the computer store that, and he was very impressed. He says, most people don't do that. And he says, you're very lucky that you did that. But I've always had everything connected. It's even in my phone. You know, all my pictures and everything are in my phone too. So all my Apple products, they're connected together. So when I do something on my phone, it automatically is done on the other computers, you know. So let's see. Ah, oh, you missed my sign. Yeah, it's back there. I'll have to carry it with me, I guess. I have that thermal printer and love it. You do? You have this one? You have the Jadens? I started to say something when I listened to College Picker. He said all these printers that look similar, you know, there's several brands. He says they're all the same. They're all the same computer, thermal printer. They're all the same. They just put different names on them, you know. They bought them from one company and they just put their own names on them. So like the Munbin, there's a Munbin that's the same, and there's a few different ones, and they're all the same, actually. Yes, you have the, oh, thank goodness, somebody has the same one. Well, I can go to you too. But you don't have an Apple. Do you have a Mac? If I get it hooked up, I saw the printing. The printing's really nice. The labels print much darker than the other style for you. Oh, good. Okay. You just have to have it, you know, get it attached and get it to read my computers. Yes, I do have lots of help now here. I thought of you today. If you see my Halloween Fang sale, I start laughing because I hear you say I sell everything. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to go look today what you've sold. You don't have an Apple. Yeah. That's the one problem with the Apple products is yes, they don't play well with other brands, but there's always workarounds. Usually it takes several different steps. More steps is the problem. So that's why it's good to have YouTube, because these YouTube people are connecting to the Apple products. So you can just follow on. Well, with the Bluetooth, hopefully there's no worry. Brylan, are you using the Bluetooth ones or are you wired? You know, using it on your computer. The little printer. It's so cute. And then you have your little thing sitting just behind the printer, and it would fan fold into the printer. It wouldn't take up much room at all. But the Dymo doesn't take up much room either, because the roll of paper is inside the Dymo. Wired, yeah, you're wired to the computer. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hopefully something's going to work here with my laptop. Now, I'm thinking also of, should I get another desktop eventually, or which I won't. I will think about getting a monitor though, because it's hard for me to see this unless I get have my nose right up to the computer, which is fine, you know, sometimes. But if I had a monitor that showed me the same thing, you can actually hook this up to your LG TV, which I have. That was a thought too, but monitors, you can get monitors for between $100 and $200 for a decent monitor. So I may look into that. And that's as close as Walmart, where I could get a monitor. Or probably Target too. With Target is where the guy recognized me from YouTube in that techie department where all the TVs and things are. That's where I got my LG big TV, is from Target a while back, a few years ago. Well, we also have my grandson coming on Sunday. And he's very techie because he's a gamer. I would think he'd know how to do this, although he doesn't have an Apple product. He built his own computer. It's definitely not a Macintosh. But he should know about this kind of stuff. So I'm going to try to get this attached. If I can't, my next thing is waiting till Sunday and have my grandson try to do it. If that doesn't work and we can't get it connected, then I will call the guys at Astro Computers in town, Tim and Tom. And that makes me feel so much better. I'm so glad that Jolene told me about them. And then she actually went there and talked to them for me. She is just the best. I've had her walking my dogs ever since she didn't know Rocky, but she knew Monk and Spirit and Dexter, and now Penny. She's walked them all. Not so much Monk. He would be too slow for her. Yeah. His 2 minutes of galloping was from the back of the property to the front, and that's it. He was old when I got him. Actually, he was 8 or 9 when I got him from the rescue, and that's old for a Saint Bernard. He lived till he was 13. Yeah. Last night I was watching Sitting with Dogs. Rocky Kanaki. Do you watch him? Does anybody watch him? I sit there for hours and watching him with the dogs. Yeah, I think at his home, he has a little farm. He takes dogs in there too from the shelters that need rehabilitated. But his farm is actually a coffee farm. He lives in California. And he sells his coffee, and it's called Flip Coffee. Flip was his what kind of dog was that? Boxer. He had a boxer. And he can hardly talk about it. He gets all teary because he lost his boxer just, I don't know, a few years back. And they named his coffee that they make Flip. His name is Flip, and they named it Flip's Coffee or Flip Coffee. And I think I'm going to buy some and see how it is. I love coffee. You've watched him, Diane? Yeah. Yeah, I watch him. He's one of the ones I watch that I turn on and sort of keep on, like, for half the day. Mm. So I wanted to tell you about me getting my jade. This just came like 3 hours ago. Finally came. It was 2 days late, but it finally came, but it came without the stand. Most people that get these, maybe it's just the people that they're getting, they want them to do their box opening and setup online. The bigger, they get it for free. But it included a stand. Wasn't anything. It was in a little flat box and you had to put it together. It's just real flimsy plastic. But it held both the roll kind of labels and the flat labels just sat underneath. But I don't think that's a problem. Yeah. So it'll be an experience for me to try to get these set up so I get some sort of printer working, because I'm sure not going to keep going to the post office all the time. I ought to be able to do this. Oh. Well, I think I said this afternoon I told this thing about me getting my hair cut. I went to get my hair cut, and at the place I get my hair cut, right outside the door, they have these big planters, where they put petunias and stuff, big floral arrangements in the summer. Big, huge planters. They're cement. Well, sitting in this one pot that's right in front of their door practically was a goose. She was a Canadian goose. She was sitting on eggs, and there is the gander, the male goose, sitting, guarding right next to her. And then I noticed they have a little wire fence around the door so that you can get in without getting too close to the sitting goose that's sitting on the eggs, because the customers were getting attacked by the male goose. They're very protective. They mate for life, and when she's sitting on eggs, he is protecting her at all times. So I don't know why she would pick a place so inhabited right along the sidewalk where people walk, and there's stores, and there she is sitting on 6 eggs. They're about to hatch within the week. So they will take pictures. I'll try maybe Sunday to get myself organized and get some pictures on here and show you. I did take maybe 3 pictures of her and the male guarding her. And they named her Goldie, and they named the male Johnny. I don't know why. But yeah, next time I go get my hair cut, they'll have all kinds of pictures of the little goslings being hatched out. Then I think they don't stay very long after that. Once the goslings can hop out of their nest and be on the go, I think they go after that. So, yeah. I'll tell you one thing that I was surprised I didn't know this about. It's not the wildlife sanctuary. It's like a wildlife sanctuary. They called them to see about what they should do with these geese. My hair cutting place called, because they were right outside their door, and he was attacking the customers. So they called and they said they could come and move the geese, but they would destroy the eggs. And I looked up and they wouldn't have that. They wouldn't, no. She was crying. She was crying. She says, "No, you can't do that. We'll keep them here." So of course they're protected. Canadian geese are protected migratory bird. So yes, you have to be really careful what you do with them. So yeah, they wouldn't let the wildlife sanctuary take them. The reason I looked up why they would do that, why would they destroy the eggs? And it's there's so many Canadian geese, and there's so many make their nests right in the population, and they have this problem. And it's to keep the population of geese down. Well, as soon as they found that out, they wouldn't let them. They said, no, you don't have to come and take them. So I'm so glad they did that. One of my, the girl that sits at the desk, she says, she told her boss, if she lets them come and take them and destroy the eggs, she's not going to work there anymore. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm going to be sure to watch for. Hi, Cindy. Yeah, they're protected from people shooting them and eating them for a goose dinner. That's what they're protected for. Yeah. But they don't want zillion Canadian geese all over the place, I guess. I was surprised when I read that. I was really surprised. But yeah, they're not, you can't hunt these geese. You know. Any migratory. I would think all geese. What geese can you have? You know, what geese do people hunt for then? I would think all geese would be migratory, wouldn't you? I don't know. I don't know anything about hunting, really. So, yes, I'm happy to hear Brylan has a Jaden's printer, so I can ask her some questions too if I ever get this hooked up. But I think the best thing about this whole thing is I learned that there's help in town. There's a computer place that will actually come to my house and help me with anything to do with computers. For a price, of course. You'll ask the hubby. Yeah. Yeah, well, your geese you have on the farm, they wouldn't be migratory. Those type of geese aren't migratory. But any wild geese that they hunt, you know, people go out hunting for like duck hunting, and I thought that they hunted for geese too. Yeah, your hubby hunts, and he would know. But yeah, there's certain ones I guess that are just protected. Maybe there's a season for them. Maybe that. I don't know, like a hunting season, a goose season. So I'm going to, I sort of like my laptop out in the family room, but if I'm going to hook up things to it, like if I'm going to hook up a monitor and printer and things, the printer wouldn't take up much room, but Anything else, I would have to probably come back into here and have it on the desk because there's not much room out there. It's just very handy. Of course, being a laptop, I can carry it around. Yeah. So this is such a problem as far as having your computer crash. But I'll have, we'll see how this goes. I'll know by probably Sunday's video. I'll be back on, oh no, I won't be back Sunday because that's when all my kids are coming out and we're having the party. So I will not be on. I will be on either Monday or Tuesday whenever Bumblebee's box comes and I can open it. And that's what Sunday's video will be. It will be a box opening. It won't be Sunday though. It'll be Monday. So no Sunday video, live video. It'll be a live video on Monday or whenever, Monday or Tuesday for sure. Probably Monday. Hopefully UPS will get here in time for me to make a video. She says it's a great big box. So, yeah. So I will be back on Monday or Tuesday, hopefully with some good news. So thank you all for joining me tonight. And I have to go put my chickens away now. I think this, what time is it? Yeah. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I think the what is sunset around here now? It's about 8 something. The girls will be going to roost, and I will have to shut their little door. So far, my handyman has reinforced my big computer that's back in that room back there. It's in the window. It's a huge one though. It's in the window, but when they put it in, it was my husband. So this was 20 years ago, or more. My husband and my brother-in-law, they have both passed. So it definitely needed all new wood to reinforce it because super heavy. And we sure didn't want that falling out of the window. Yes, well, thank you. I'll tell him, Diane. I have to talk to him tonight. And yeah, I will see you on Monday after the party day. So thanks for coming. Bye-bye.